I work at a chain DVD and music shop on the high street. You can probably guess which because it's the only one. But we are doing quite well. I mean, if you came in today, you could peruse a really wide range of new releases, remastered classics, and physical video pornography, which is still a thing. Unlike the family films, the porn doesn't have its own section. In fact, we dot it sporadically around the world cinema section, which is weirdly offensive when you think about it. I don't know if it's something about the Vaseline smeared lens work or the dreamy synth soundtrack that gives these films a distinctly European feel. But either way, it makes looking through the world cinema section kind of like a horny Easter egg hunt, which is just as fun as a regular Easter egg hunt, except at the end, instead of getting lots of chocolate, you get lots of shame. Not that I've ever watched any of these DVDs, and I'm not being weird about it, to each their own. It's just I personally prefer my pornography to be ethically sourced from reputable websites where the name is vague enough so as not to appear conspicuous on my bank statement. The names of the DVDs we sell do not have inconspicuous names. And they do sell, they're bought by exactly the kind of person you'd imagine would buy them. Kind of crusty 60-year-old men who put the DVD down on the till and say, "Oh, don't worry, love, I don't need a bag, I'll carry it home." And they don't even try to hide it between other DVDs. They put it cover facing up so the uncensored tits and hole are staring me directly in the eye throughout the entire transaction, which is intimidating. God, to have the confidence of a 60-year-old man, the life I would lead. So I've not watched any of these DVDs, but I do still have a favourite one that we sell. It's called Whore Hospital. It's about whores who work in a hospital. It's not even the only one of the whore franchise that we sell. We've got Whore Angels and Whore Heretics. There's a whole whore cinematic universe, the WCU. But Whore Hospital is still my favourite of the titles because of the implications this title has about the lives of the women in it. These women work in healthcare, they're working women. Well, I mean, they'd be working women even if they were just whores, because sex work is real work, we all know it. Anyone who's ever faked an orgasm knows it's at least worth a living wage. What I'm trying to say is these women are working 2 full-time jobs simultaneously, healthcare and whoring. What an intriguing take on millennial work culture. I think about these whores a lot. It takes up a lot of my time. Do you think that these whores are general practitioners, or do you think that they specialise? Do you think there's a whore cardiologist who raises your heart rate, then sends you for an EKG? A whore osteopath who's working with bones in every sense of the word? I imagine there would be a lot of whore podiatrists because it's feet. Do you think the whores are unionised? Do you think that they would strike? Do you think there's multiple unions based on district? Nah, that's silly, because, I doubt there's enough whore hospitals to constitute multiple districts, but it's nice to think about. Do you think there'd be a whore ambulance service? And if there is, do you think that the siren would be sexy? Or do you think it would cater specifically to people who already find ambulance sirens sexy? Do you think the whores had to work through the pandemic? I mean, social distancing would really take its toll on every aspect of that profession. Unless you had the right PPE, and even then, I don't even want to imagine how high that latex bill would be. I mean, thank God for the NHS, am I right? I don't think I'd mind being treated by a whore, to be honest. I mean, I've had sex with a lot of women, not to brag or anything. And more often than not, aftercare and consent and comfort have been paramount, as well as cleanliness and bedside manner. And I bet these whores would be funny as well, because think about it. If you go through like 8 years of med school and then specialist training on top of that in a notoriously sexist industry, and then you decide to do residency at whore hospital, and you've got to have a sense of humour. And they must be practical as all hell. I mean, like, they kept up with all their med school homework, all while cultivating a very lucrative side hustle. I mean, that time management skills are off the charts. You better believe you'll be taking all your meds on time. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, but I don't think I'll be watching the DVD purely because I don't want to ruin this beautiful daydream I have of a utopian sex hospital. But if I ever did get into an accident and I was hospitalised, I would be honoured to be treated by a comforting, skilled and beautiful woman who just happens to have a very interesting small business. Thank you.